At 2:47 p.m. over the Lesky sector, a Ukrainian Mi-24 Hind attack helicopter did something unusual. It began a low and slow approach, flying directly into an area known to be covered by Russian air defenses. From a purely tactical perspective, the helicopter loaded with weapons was making itself a perfect target. For the Russian soldiers on the ground, the sudden appearance of such a valuable aircraft in a quiet part of the front was a completely unexpected opportunity for months. The Lesky front had been relatively calm, marked only by occasional artillery fire and the constant buzz of drones. The arrival of a heavily armed Mi-24 gunship suggested a major change was underway. The helicopter was equipped for a ground assault carrying 4B-8 V-20, rocket pods each holding 20 S-880mm unguided rockets. This gave the aircraft a formidable payload of 80 projectiles. The S-8 rocket is designed to saturate a large area, and its high explosive warhead can punch through significant armor. Using such immense firepower in a quiet zone seemed illogical. A puzzling detail that the Russian air defense crew watching the helicopter's approach did not fail to notice watching from a ruined building about 3.2 kilometers away. A two-man Russian manpads team had been tracking Mi-24 for the last 4 minutes. They were armed with a 9K-38 Igla, a reliable and deadly manned portable air defense system from the Soviet, era ready for action. The system weighs nearly 18 kilograms, carries a blast fragmentation warhead, packed with high explosives. The weapon's most critical feature is its nitrogen-cooled infrared seeker. This cooling process dramatically reduces background thermal interference, making the seeker far more and extending its detection range. It allows the system to better distinguish between an aircraft hot engine and defensive countermeasures like flares. As the Ukrainian helicopter angled into its attack dive, the situation on ground changed in an instant in a single continuous volley. The Mi-24 unleashed all 80 of its S-8 rockets. The projectiles screamed towards the ground at over 600 meters per second, blanketing a wide 500-meter area. But the attack seemed sloppy and without a clear target. Many rockets exploded harmlessly in the Dnipro River, while others threw up columns of mud in empty fields. Only a few hit any buildings. What appeared to be a failed attack was actually a carefully calculated plan with two objectives. First, the widespread explosions were meant to suppress any hidden ground threats. More importantly, the chaotic attack was designed to bait the enemy. The sheer wastefulness of the assault was intended to make the Mi-24 seem like an amateur vulnerable target, tempting any nearby air defense team to take the shot. The Russian manpads team did exactly what Ukrainian intelligence had predicted following their old Soviet-era doctrine. They were trained to immediately engage any enemy aircraft within the Eagle's 5.2-kilometer effective range. The gunner confirmed his target. The Ukrainian helicopter was low, slow, and well within the weapon's engagement limits. The helicopter had deliberately crossed the Dnipro River into Russian-controlled airspace, making itself an irresistible target that the Igla team could not have engaged on the other side. This incredible risk taken by the Ukrainian crew paid off. The chance to shoot down a Hind helicopter overrode all tactical caution. A fatal mistake for the Russian team at exactly 2:48 p.m., just as the last S-8 rockets hit the ground. The Russian operator fired the Igla. The missile's solid-fuel motor ignited, leaving a bright trail of white smoke as it accelerated towards nearly twice the speed of sound. Its cooled infrared seeker had a solid lock on the powerful heat signature coming from the Mi-24's twin turboshaft engines inside the Ukrainian cockpit. The launch was not a surprise. It was the expected result. The pilot's SPO-15 bars of radar warning instantly lit up, signaling the threat. This system provides 360-degree coverage and can categorize radar missile emitters and indicate bearing exact bands omitted for brevity, showing their direction with reasonable accuracy. A sharp, pulsing tone confirmed that an infrared-guided missile was in the air as anticipated. The pilot immediately initiated a pre-planned defensive maneuver. He banked the helicopter sharply to the left, forcing the missile to adjust its course, and at the same time triggered the UV-26 countermeasure system, a series of 12 PPI-26 infrared flares shot out from the aircraft. These decoys burn hotter than 2,000 degrees Celsius, creating intense heat signatures designed to lure the missile seeker away from the helicopter. In that moment, the battlefield became a complex thermal landscape on the ground. Dozens of fires from the 80 rocket impacts created a field of heat sources. In the air, 12 brilliant flares burned even brighter than the helicopter's engines. The 1900 ADS-era guidance system of the Igla missile was completely overwhelmed. It was designed to track a single heat source against a cool sky, not to navigate a three-dimensional maze of thermal decoys its processes. Couldn't distinguish the helicopter from the many hotter targets. The seeker lost its lock on the Mi-24 and instead targeted the brightest signature. It could find a cluster of burning debris from the rocket, strikes about 150 meters away from the helicopter. The missile veered off, flew past the hind, and exploded harmlessly on the ground while the helicopter crew had survived. The main goal of their mission was just beginning. The bright, fiery plume from the Igla missile launch acted as a perfect beacon, giving away the exact position of the Manpad's team. Ukrainian signals intelligence units monitoring the area instantly triangulated the launch point in less than 90 seconds. The missile's heat signature and any radio signals from the team's gear were processed to generate a precise set of coordinates. This ability to shrink the time from detection to firing from minutes or hours in past wars to mere seconds marks a revolution in modern warfare. This operation showcased a new Ukrainian doctrine of accepted risk, instead of using traditional tactics like flying low to hide from radar or attacking from a safe distance. Helicopter crews are now intentionally using their own aircraft as bait. They rely on advanced countermeasures and superior battlefield awareness to survive the enemy's attack, all with the goal of finding and destroying the air defense network. This high-stakes strategy turns a helicopter from a simple target into a hunter, unaware that they have been spotted. The Russian team began their standard post-engagement procedure, shoot and scoot. This tactic, which involves quickly relocating after firing to avoid return fire, was effective when response times were measured in minutes. On today's network battlefield, it is tragically outdated. At 2:49 p.m., the target coordinates were sent to an FPV drone operator 8 kilometers away. The operator launched a modified commercial quadcopter, a prime example of how consumer technology has been adapted for military use instead of camera. The drone carried a 1.5 kilograms high explosive warhead. It climbed into the air and flew towards a Russian position at an altitude of just 50 meters, staying low to avoid radar and visual detection. Meanwhile, the Russian team was finding it difficult to pack up their equipment.